today I will be taking part in Abi Connick's Creative Glow Challenge, and this video is sponsored by Envato Elements. So this month's challenge is Funky Frames. Funky Frames are a new business that creates unique, colourful and quirky shaped mirror frames. Perfect for adding some spice and colour to your room. The idea is that you'll fall in love with the way you look even more because the colourful and quirky mirror makes you smile more than an ordinary mirror. And the deliverables for this is a primary logo, secondary logo, logo mark, colour palette, business card, plus any extras. So this is a colourful and quirky brand, and I really want to focus on that in design and really make it playful. So we need to create a mood board, but first we'll go on Pinterest and collect tons of inspiration. As you can see from my Pinterest board, we have lots of colour, lots of patterns, and that's definitely something that I will be working on. To focus the creative direction, it is important to create a condensed mood board. So in my mood board, you can see pictures of funky frames, typography, patterns, and colour. For the typography, I was thinking something that really mimics the curves in the funky frames. So the next step is to go and look for some fonts. I will be using Envato Elements to find some fonts. So I have picked 8 different fonts, but I was able to go down to 2 different fonts. And what I really liked about them is, compared to the others, how thin they are, as I didn't want something too bold or too wide. So to pick between these 2 fonts, I really compared them, and I really liked the first one, but I did like the flicks on the R and the K on the other font. So this might be something that I will be adding to the font. So now that we have picked the font, it is time to manipulate and customize the font. So my idea was to have the lower cases to be the same size as the caps. So what I did was create a square around them so I can really see where the font begins and ends. And then I obviously extended the font so they do touch the line. I also really like interesting layouts and positions for the letters. So I wanted the K to be on top of the tail of the Y. I also really like the E from the caps, so I replaced the lower E with the capital E. So now that I've made this font unique, it is time to create the variations. So for the first variations, I wanted the words to stack on top of each other. And for the second variation, I just wanted a straight line. And to create a little bit of interest, I have extended the tail from the S all the way to the word at the front. And finally, for the logo mark, I used the 2 Fs together, and I wanted to differentiate the Fs between each other. So to create this effect that I did here, I highlighted the Fs, then go into Objects, Path, Offset Path, and choose the amount that you want to offset by. And now I can remove the outline so you can clearly see the Fs. Next step is color. So I wanted to use dark green, lime green, cream, and pink. And I also wanted to create some gradients. So I grabbed these colors and went into Photoshop. Then I've chosen the brush tool, put the opacity down, created some patterns, and when I was ready, I went into Filter, Liquify, moved my mouse a bit until I was happy, and I really like the swirly effect. So that is what I did, and that is the gradient done. So then I went back into Illustrator, placed the gradient behind the logo, and that was my variation done. And out of these 2, I really liked the dark green and the pink. It is time to do the illustrations. For this, I'll be using my iPad to connect to my Mac. By going into display on my Mac and connecting to my iPad, this allows me to draw on my iPad and create the illustrations using my Apple Pencil instead of the mouse, which makes my process so much easier. Using the brush tool, I'll be creating my illustrations, and when I'm happy with them, I'll be using the smooth tool to smooth them out and the live bucket tool to add color to them. And after I was done with the illustrations, this gave me the idea to add them to the logo. So what I did was grab the logo and place the illustrations around them, and I absolutely love this variation. So this was my logo variations, color, illustrations, and patterns done. So next I had to create a business card. So I was working on the front design of the business card. And as an extra, I wanted to create a homepage. So the first thing that you can see on the website is the beautiful photography with the illustrations on either sides, as well as the heading. I also added the shop area, so when you scroll down a little, you'll see the best sells. And for the background, I use a grid and I place the photos on top of them. And finally, I have added a call to action as well as 2 illustrations on either sides of the photography. And that was the homepage done. And I also wanted to do another extra, which was a Instagram example feed, which I used the photography from the website and added a little bit more interest by using the illustrations again, as well as creating some text posts and adding the illustrations again. Finally, it was time to mock everything up. And I have found a really good mock-up of business cards on Envato Elements. So Envato Elements is the sponsor of this video. And I've said this like millions of times, but Envato Elements is great for graphic designers for mock-ups, fonts, and more. And if you do decide to check them out, please use the link below. With this link, if you do decide to buy an annual subscription, you'll get 50% off discount, which will equals to around $20 US a month. So thank you Envato for sponsoring this video and supporting this channel. And let's get back to the video. And if you don't know how to use markups, you literally download them, open them in Photoshop, and then you'll have this little thing telling you that you can edit it. When you go into it, you put your design, you save it, you go back, and then your design is on the actual markup. So it's time to introduce funky frames. So what do you think of this brand? Let me know below. And if you did enjoy this video, please give a like, subscribe. It definitely helps my channel out a lot. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!